Hello, Western Civ 104. Welcome to week 15. We are here finishing up the last week until the final. My house is full of lots of noises right now and various activities, so I popped out here outdoors in Santa Cruz. It's a beautiful day. I just don't have anywhere to prop up my laptop, so I'll try not to make it too wobbly while I'm standing holding it. Okay, so I just wanted to go over a few things as we're coming to the end. So as I mentioned before, if anybody has late work, you have to get approval with me first right now at this point. If you turn in something without asking, you automatically do not get credit for it. And that's where we're at. So, because I go through this every semester where I end up having lots of students that got behind, and then they just randomly, desperately just start throwing all this work out at me. And of course, a lot of them don't even look at my announcements and not seeing that I have this rule. But if you're watching this, at least, well, anyways, you just need to get approval for any late work. That's it. So contact me, and I'll likely let you. If you're struggling with your grade, or you're on the cusp of the grade that you want, basically, this is the time to call me. If you have not been showing up and you have a really bad grade, I'm not going to judge you. You can explain yourself if you want, but you don't have to. What's important is that you contact me, and I can sit down with you, get the laptop out, look at your grade, and see what is viable and the best option for you at this point if you're struggling. Okay, so let's make that like that. That's the approach that we need to take right now. And so why don't you write me on Canvas? Give me your number and come up with a time frame in which we can make a phone call, or we can chat through FaceTime, Skype or something. And so basically, I just want to make this extension out to this invitation out to all of my students, that if you need to go over anything here as we're closing up, contact me. I'll make the time for you, okay? When you look at your grades, this is important to mention, Canvas keeps all of my old assignments, some that I don't use anymore. So you're going to look on your grades and you're going to see all these assignments and go, man, Mr. Pollock, I don't remember us doing these. Well, we didn't. So don't worry about those. I realize that's a little confusing. I apologize. But only the assignments that we had in the modules are you responsible for. Now, Canvas is supposed to let me know if you have an assignment that you didn't turn in and you should be getting a 0. But every once in a while, it doesn't let me know. And when I go back and double check, which I'm going to do next week, looking at the grade book, if there's an old assignment that you didn't turn in and I didn't put a 0 yet, Canvas, your grade is acting as if you have 100% on that project. So that's where it can get misleading with your grades. So what you should be doing, like today, the next few days, very soon, take a look at your grade as is and look at all the assignments that I had assigned. Made sure that there's a grade in every one of those. And if you have an issue with your grade, again, please contact me. Now, some of you are noticing that the final is only 25 points. And you have a very strong A, and you're going to say, well, do I need to take the final? So this is my approach to this. I never tell students not to take a final or any of my assignments. But I also don't take it personal if you don't do them. If you have the points, you get an A. If you have enough points, you get an A. Now, what I will not do is I will not answer this question for you. I will not do the math. I will not look over this. You have to decide it. You look at the percentage of the amount of points you have, and if you feel like you don't need to take the final, then you just don't take the final. And and actually, ideally, I would like you just to say, write to me in the margins, say, Mr. Pollock, I will not be taking the final. Canvas does have, I believe, for you students, the ability for you to put a 0 into an assignment, or you can put any grade into an assignment box and see what your overall grade will look like if that's the grade that you get. So I believe that Canvas makes that possible for you. In any case, that's your job to figure out, not mine, but I will not have a problem with you at all if you do not do the final. And or maybe you're just going to get the grade that you want. And so again, this is up to you. This is your class, and you're earning the grade that you get, and regardless of whether or not you did all the assignments. Okay, so I hope that helps clarify that. Anything else? I think that's for the most part where we're at. I do, in retrospect, I wish I would have updated just a little bit my recap video that I had for you on Western Civ. And when I did that one, I also originally only had you watch the Neil Ferguson video. And now I have you also watch 2 other videos. Now, why I'm covering China, even though we just ended at the Reformation, basically, and I do this with my Western Civ 105 class, is I want all of you to understand the legacy of Western civilization and the fact that this is such a topic now, and the complexities of what it means. Much of the cultural wars that happen in America, much of the standoffs that we're seeing globally, the challenges between other nation states, are rooted in much of the history that we are covering in some way. I mean, even, I was in Hong Kong in the middle of, during the time of the protests a few years ago. And, Hong Kong was a part of China, and the British took Hong Kong and basically used it to sell opium, drugs. And this humiliated the Chinese government, and it basically was used as a base for drug dealing in many ways, and then for other international business, and eventually became a thriving business hub. But the British basically, they said that we're going to take this land from China, and then we're legally going to give it back later on. And that's what happened. It's this very odd thing. And so if you look at the complications of what's going on in Hong Kong, it has to do with the fact that for over a century, Hong Kongers were independent of mainland China, and then basically given back to mainland China by the British with a set of complicated arrangements that's all kind of falling apart right now, or ending, or however you want to word it. And the situation with Taiwan in China, there was a civil war in China, and the dictator that was the anti-communist dictator, Chiang Kai-shek, fled with his entourage to Taiwan, and that became its own separate entity. And so mainland China has always felt that Taiwan is actually China. It would be the same as if someone took our colony of Hawaii, and American nationalists would say, well, no, Hawaii is going to belong to the United States. So, a lot of complicated issues, which I'm not going to be able to cover, are rooted in lots of, the East versus West geopolitical set of issues. And so I just want you to be aware of that. I want you to ponder it, and I think that also, I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that you feel edified, and that you have more appreciation for the nuance of Western civilization. And so, any case, if any of you need to get a hold of me for anything, I'd gladly, like I said, be in touch. I'd like to even talk about, if you have any, just you want to go over the history, anything that you need this week and next week, I'll make time for you. And so we'll be in touch.